Hi there. Are you a JHS leaver or you just completed BCE and then you are wondering on the programs or the courses that are available for you? Then do not worry. This episode is yours. So you are welcome to Sir Henry's class. Today we are going to look at programs and subject combination guidelines for JHS graduates. I would like you to stay throughout this video because it will be very helpful. And if it is helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now, for students that have written BEC and are waiting their results so they can be placed in the various SHS, there are programs that are available for you to read, and it's important that you get to know them. So we are going to take you through them. Now, the various programs are offered in what we call the senior high schools, the senior high technical, and the STEM schools. Now, when you take the senior high schools and then the senior high technical schools, there are programs like general science, general arts, business, applied technology, home economics, visual and performing arts, agriculture, languages, and then global studies. Now, all these areas that I've mentioned, which are about 9, so these are 9 learning areas or the courses or programs. There are what we call some core and then elective subjects which you'll be reading under them. So we have 4 groups where we have the core subject and the electives where you are going to choose some subject from to form part of the program that you'll be reading over here. Now with the new system, it has been prepared in such a way that learners can exit with a minimum of 7 subjects. When we say exit, it means upon completion, after you've gone through all the 3-year program, when you are leaving or when you are bringing your senior higher education to an end, where you write your WASI, there you can register with just 7 subjects. That is the minimum, and then a maximum of about 9 subjects. So this is the structure of how the programs are done in the senior high schools. Now, someone wants to study general science in the senior high school. What are some of the subjects under general science? What are some of the subjects under general science? This person is wondering. Now, let us look at general science and the subjects that are under general science. But before that, let us also look at the STEM schools. So if you also have interest in going to the STEM schools, the programs available, we have engineering, we have the biomedical science, we have manufacturing science, we have information technology, computer science, robotics, and then aviation and aerospace. Now, all these programs are offered in the STEM schools. There also, you'll be doing 4 groups where you have the core subjects and the electives. Now, note that for Form 2, when you get to SHS 2, it is mandatory that you are going to read a program or a course, or let me say a subject called robotics and then coding. You know, now the government and the ministry are trying means to make STEM education very effective. So it is mandatory. If only your school has the needed facilities to take the student through it, then you'll be doing robotics and coding. It doesn't matter whether you are a visual art student, whether you are a biomedical science student, whatever program you are offering, you are going to be doing robotics and coding in Form 2. Now, I want to do general science. I want to go to Opokuwara. I want to go to Achimota School. General science, what are the subjects that are available? Now, for general science students, just like I said, there are 4 groups. So we have Group A, which is the core subjects, which will be done by every program. We have Group B, which are the electives. We have Group C, which are the related electives, and Group D, which are the other electives. So for the core, we have maths, we have social studies, and we have English language. But first, if you were doing science, you'll be doing science as well as a subject under the core subject. But now for science students, we have taken science itself out. You'll be doing what we call PH, physical education and health. You'll be doing robotics and coding in Form 2, just like I said. But for the PH, it is not externally examinable. It means you're not going to write exams on it during your WASI or during the end of your 3-year stay in school. It is just going to appear on your transcript, that's on your report. So we are not going to write WASI on PE. Now for the mandatory electives, when we say mandatory, they are compulsory for every science student. Because you are not doing science, mandatorily you'll be reading biology, you read chemistry, and you read what you call physics. I know you did all this in the GHS, but it was embedded. But when you go to the senior high, each of them stands on its own as a course or as a subject to be read by any science student. Then group C, we have the related electives, the electives that are related. And here you are going to choose either one or two. The new plan that has been introduced is that a student who may be reading science may have electives coming from the general arts, visual arts, or any of the preferred programs that the person wants. So for the related elective, there are other electives that you may choose from to add up to what you are doing. So I told you you are going to choose a minimum of 7 and then a maximum of what? 9. All right, good. So here we have additional mass, we have automobile and metal technology, electrical and electronic technology, design and communication technology, building construction and wood technology. It goes down there to PH. So you choose either one or two. Then we come to the other electives where we have economics, we have government, we have history, we have Christian religious studies, Islamic religious studies, RME, down to the art and design studio. So here too, you choose either one or two. Now this is how the thing is done. Most schools have already done the pairing. Some schools you'll be given the chance to choose. Now, if a learner chooses two subjects from group C, then that person can only select one from group D. So what it means is that if I choose additional maths and choose, let's say, ICT, that is all for group C. For group D, I can choose just one, maybe music. All right. And also on the contrary, if you choose only one from group C, let's say I choose only clothing and textile, then I have the chance to choose two from group D. It could be government and history. So this is how the allocations are done for science students. Now I want to do general arts in the senior high. What are my subjects? If you want to do general arts where you want to do law, you want to do more of reading and all that. Now, your core subject, just like I said, so maths, your social, you do English language. Now, because you are not a general science student, you'll be doing what? General science as part of your core subject. Then you do PEH and robotics. These two, you already know about it. Then here you choose 2 or 3. Econs, government, history, CRS. You choose just 3 of them. Then the group C, you choose 1 or 2. It could be Arabic and then RME. Then group D, also 1 or 2. And here also, the allocations are done this way. So if you choose 3 subjects from B, because we said 2 or 3 subjects from B, then you can only select 1 from C and then 1 from D. All right. So if you happen to choose 3 from here, let's say econs, let's say government and history, you can only choose 1. So maybe Arabic and then physics. That is all. Now, if you choose 3 subjects from group B, then you can select only 2 from either C or D. So you know here, we said when we pick 3, we do 1, but we can also do 2 from just one of the electives. So if you do your econs, your government or history, you can do all the 2 from group C, maybe performing arts and then management and living. You can't extend to group D. Or you can also do otherwise. Either you choose the 2 from D, maybe computer science and then your additional maths, and that is all. Now what if you choose 2 subjects from group B? Then you can select 2 subjects from group C and then 1 from group D. So if you select just 2, let's say econs and then government, then group C, you are going to select 2, maybe RME and then accounting. Then you select 1 from D, maybe ICT. On the contrary, you can also do 2 for group B, 1 for group C, and then the 2 for group D. That is how it is done. Then if I want to do business in the senior high, what are my subjects? For business, don't forget, since you are not a science student, you do math, social, English, and general science. PE and robotics, I've already spoken about them. So here we have what we call the mandatory subjects, just like in the science. So for business students, you wouldn't escape BM, business management, you wouldn't escape accounting. Now when you come down here you choose either one or two. It could be a cons, computer science, additional maths. Then we come to the related electives. You choose either one or two. And then we come to the other electives where you can also choose either one or two. Now how is the parent done? If you choose 4 subjects, that is 2 mandatory and 2 optional. That is here. So 2 mandatory, that is the business management, and the optional here, let's assume you choose a cons and then computer science. Then this is what is going to happen. Then from group B, that is after selecting the 2, then from group C or D, you can either choose just only one. So it means you choose one, only one, could be only Spanish, then against what? Chemistry. Now if you choose only 3 subjects, that is 2 mandatory and 1 optional. So your mandatory there is 2, you can't skip that. So BM and account, then here you choose only one. Let's say I choose additional maths. Then I can either do 1 subject from group C and D. Alright, 1 from group C and another one from group D, making 2. So if I choose, let's say, only math, then I will do food and nutrition as against maybe government. Alright, food and nutrition as against what? Government. Or I can also do agriculture as against maybe biology. Now if you select 2 subjects, or is this or 2 subjects from either group C or D, so maybe Arabic, French, these are the 2, that is all. Or I choose physics and then chemistry, that is all. I think I would have to take the business again. So I was saying for the business, if you choose 4 subjects, that is the 2 mandatory and 2 of this area, that is the group B, the select 1 or 2, you happen to choose 2, then you are choosing only 1 from either C or D. That is only 1. So maybe design and communication technology, finish. Or you don't choose from C, but you rather choose from D. So maybe geography. So it means you are doing your core plus these 2 mandatory plus 2 of this plus just 1 from either C or D. If you do 3, that is your mandatory 2 and only 1 from this optional, then you have the chance to do 1 from each of the group. 1 from each of the group. So if you are doing only 1, let's say only a cons, then you have the chance to do 1 each. That is maybe as against agricultural science and maybe literature in English, 1. Or you can do all the 2. Instead of doing 1 for each, you can do all the 2 at a time. So maybe you do 2 from group C, maybe clothing and textile, and then maybe management and living. Or you do these 2 from D, maybe agriculture and then physics. Alright, that is for the business. Now I want to do applied technology, which is for the senior high technical schools. What are my subjects? You wouldn't skip maths, science, English, and social. For PH and robotics, constant. I've already spoken about it. When it comes to the main electives, here you must select a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4. So we have mandatory. With the mandatory, you select just one. Just one. You can see it's just one. So design and communication technology, you choose it. That one you can't skip it. Then when it comes to the optional, you can select only one of them. This option 1, you choose 1. Then option 2, you can select either 1 or 2 of these 3. When it comes to group C, you may select either 1 or 2. Group D, you may also select either 1 or 2. But the selection is done based on this criterion. Now when you choose 4 subjects from group B, what does the 4 subject from group B means? That is, you choose the mandatory, you choose 1 from option 1, and you happen to choose 2 from option 2, Then you can do one from either group C or group D. That is one, just one, maybe biology from group C as against economics in group D. What if you do 3 subjects? That is a mandatory one, optional one, and you choose just one from this option 2. Then here you can do one subject from group C and then one subject from group D. So if you do just 3, so one from group C, that is, let's say computer science, and one from group D, let's say history. Or you can rather do this 2 selection from one group, that is computer science as against ICT. That is all. You don't want to go to the next selective, or you rather jump group C and go to the next selective. So let's say you do music as against what? Arabic. Sir Henry, I want to do home economics. You'll be doing math, science, social, English for your core as against PH and robotics. If you stayed with me from the beginning, you get to know of these 2. Now for the electives, each learner must study 3 subjects. There is a mandatory where every home econ student cannot skip. You cannot skip management in living, compulsory. And you may also select one from option 1 and then one from option 2. So from option 1, you can pick one, maybe clothing and textile as against biology. When it comes to group C, you may select either 1 or 2. And when it comes to group D, same 1 or 2. Now, how is the selection done? If you select 3 subjects from group B, that is 1 the mandatory, 1 the optional, and 1 from the option 2, then you are doing 2 subjects from either C or 2 subjects from either D. So 2 subjects from C. Here you are not doing C or D. So maybe 2 physics as against ICT, or geography, government. Now, what if you do 1 subject from C? That is okay. So if you do 2 subjects for either C or D, you can also do it this way: 1 subject from C and 1 subject from D. 1 subject from C and 1 subject from D. So you can also do it that way. That is 1 from C, 1 from D. Mind you say 1 or 2, so you can choose either 1 or the 2. And don't forget, you are exiting with a minimum of 7 and a maximum of what? 9. So that is for the home economics. Now let us go to the next one. If I want to do visual and performing art, that is the visual art. So don't forget, you wouldn't skip English, math, science, and social. PH, robotics, you wouldn't skip them. Now for group B, here each learner is doing a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4. Alright, so there is a mandatory, that is compulsory, 1 mandatory subject, art and design foundation. You are not going to skip it, and you can select 1, 2, or 3 from this: art and design, studio design and communication, music and performing art. You can choose 1, 2, or 3. Then group C, you may do 1 or 2, and then group D, you may also do 1 or 2. Now, how is the selection done? Now, you are doing 4 subjects from group B. Alright, so assuming you are doing 4 from group B, that is, you do the art and design and you choose 3. Alright, 3 from the options here, adding up to the art and design, making 4. Then you can do only 1 from either C or D. That is, you choose only 1 from C, maybe as against history, that is all. Or you don't choose from C, but you go to D. Let's say you choose what? ICT. That is that. Now, what if you do 3? So you do the mandatory and you do only 2 attached to the 1, making 3. Then here, you can select 1 from group C and then 1 from D. 1 from C and 1 from D. So 1 from group C, 1 from group D. Or you can do 2 subjects from either C or D. That is 2 from C, maybe food and nutrition and history, or ICT, additional maths. Or if you are doing 2 subjects from B, 2 subjects simply means you are doing the mandatory and 1 of these 4, making 2. Then you can do 1 subject from C and then 1 from D. Or you can do 2 from D and then 1 from C. So it means here you are doing only 2 of this elective from group B. Then what it means is that I can select only 1 from C and then 1 from D. or you can combine it, 2 from C, or you don't choose from C, or the 2 from D. Or you can also do 1 from C, 2 from D, or 2 from C, 1 from D. Alright, don't forget minimum of 7 and a maximum of what? 9. So I want to do agriculture. Agriculture, you will not skip maths, English, science, social. Don't forget PH, robotics, they are all waiting for you. Now when it comes to the group B, a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3. So as an agriculture student, you do an elective called agriculture as your main elective, and you can select 2 of this: chemistry, physics, biology. You select 2. Group C, 1 or 2. Group D, 1 or 2. Now if you select 3 subjects from B, that is 1 mandatory and the 2, then you can also do 1 from C and 1 from D. So 1 maybe ICT and then RME. Or you can do 2 from C, either C or D. That is 2, maybe economics and then business management. Or you don't choose from C, but you jump to D, maybe Ghanaian language and then French. If you also do 1 subject from group B, let's say only the mandatory, then you can do 2 from C and 2 from D. So if you do only agric, then together with food and nutrition and clothing and textile, or you can end, not or, so end government and then literature, making 4 plus 1, making 5, and plus your 4, 9. Alright. So what about languages? Some schools do languages as a program on its own. So what about languages? If you want to do languages, you wouldn't skip your English, math, science. Your PH and your robotics and coding are also waiting for you. For the language, you have a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 3. So it could be Ghanaian language, French, Arabic, Spanish, or literature. 1 or 2 from group C and 1 or 2 also from group D. Now if you choose 3 subjects from group B, 3 subjects, then it means you are doing 1 from C and 1 from D. That is 1, so maybe econs as against biology, and I'm choosing 3 from this, so maybe Ghanaian language, French, and then what? Arabic. Or you can also do 2 subjects from B, so 2, maybe literature and English and Spanish, just 2, and then you can do 1 from C and 1 from D, so 1 maybe history, another 1 maybe computer science. Alright. And we also have what we call global studies. Global studies is more of exposing you to international relations. So here, don't forget your maths, English, science, social, since you are not a science student. PH and robotics are waiting for you. Group B, you are doing 1 mandatory. It's compulsory, you can't skip it. So geography is there. Then any of this, that is, you choose 2 from this. That is law and diplomacy, 1 foreign language, and then international trade. I told you it is more of international relations. And you can do group C 1 or 2, group D 1 or 2. If you are doing 3 subjects from B, then you can do 1 from C or 1 from D. So 3 subjects from group B, mandatory plus 2, then you are doing 1 maybe accounting or 1 maybe chemistry. But if you are doing 2 subjects from B, then you can select 1 from group C and 1 from D. So let's say 2, that's a geography as against maybe your law and diplomacy. Then you can do just 1, maybe 1 economics and then 1 physics. That is all. What of the STEM people? Let's look at the STEM learning areas. So we are going to bring the STEM learning areas in the part 2. This is very lengthy, so let's keep waiting. Let's wait for the part 2, and in the part 2 we'll look at the STEM programs. Alright, for the STEM programs, now let's start with engineering. So those who want to do engineering, here these are your core: maths, social studies, English, and then PH are your core. Each learner must study 5 subjects from the group B, and these 5 are mandatory. Here you don't have the option to choose, it's mandatory. So chemistry, biology, physics, additional maths, and then engineering, compulsory. Then from group C, the additional electives, here you must select just 1 of this subject that you read for a year, just a year, and you drop it. So it could be art and design foundation, robotics, computer science, music, just for a year. Then group D, we have the humanities. So here you may select just one from the group D. Now note, subjects in group C are not examinable. It says what you must read them annually, just for the year, and you drop it. So you just study them for the year. We only add it to your transcript, what you call the terminal report, but WAEC will not give you WASI on it. That is for engineering. If I want to do biomedical science as a STEM student, don't forget your core. For the core is throughout for all the STEM, so you are doing this 4. Then you must also do 5. It's a must, mandatory. So 5 of this: chemistry, biology, physics, additional maths, and the biomedical science. And for the additional elective, you must study 1 every year. And then the group D, the humanities, you may select what? Just 1. Just like the engineering. Group C is not examinable. You just study it for a year. We add it to your transcript, and that is all. For manufacturing, yes. So manufacturing, you still do your 4 core. Don't forget. Then you select 5 compulsory, mandatory. Those 5 are there: chemistry, biology, physics. You know them. Plus manufacturing, what? Engineering. And then for this, you study 1 just for the year. Could be computer science, art and foundation. And then you may also select 1. Then we have students that want to offer information technology. So your core subjects are still there. Your 5 mandatory subjects are here. Here we'll just add information technology. Art, design, computer science, means you choose 1, study it for the year, and that is all. And then your humanities, you can choose 1. If I want to do computer science, my core subject still remains the same throughout for the STEM programs. You must do 5 compulsory electives where we have computer science there. Select 1 for the year through this from this group C, and then 1 from group D. And then if you want to do aviation and aerospace, so the 4 core subjects still remains. And then here you are doing 5 mandatory. So we have aviation technology and aerospace engineering, plus chemistry, biology, physics. Your art, design foundation, your robotics, your music, you select 1 just for the year. And then we have the humanities, where you can select also just 1 and add it to what you have there. But don't forget, they are not examinable. If you want to do robotics itself, then for robotics, you are going to do your 4 core subjects, don't forget. Then 5 electives, where we have robotics, additional maths, physics, biology, chemistry. We have the art and design, you choose 1, study for the year. Humanities, you choose 1, you study. Alright, so thank you for staying through with me. This is your humble tutor, St. Henry's class. This evening, or today, we brought to you the programs and subjects that you can offer in the senior high. So at least we have enlightened you on some of the programs. If the video was very helpful, don't forget to like, leave a share over there, leave a comment, and also recommend this channel to your colleagues. My name is Sir Henry, your humble tutor. Thank you for watching. We have a lot of exciting content coming your way. We'll also be looking at some of the schools and the programs that they offer, especially even the STEM schools. Probably you may not know a lot of them. We'll do all this and do you this honor. So thank you for watching. Keep supporting us and have a lovely day. We are out.